Hello guys and welcome to how to make a fighting game in Godot using Spine. Here you have all the timeline of the video, and in this part we are going to see one implementation of the game that will be very cool and I think maybe very useful to it, because we are going to focus on Godot itself, okay? Remember, just leave a thumbs up, please, a comment. It will raise up the YouTube algorithm, and I don't know how it works, but I think it helps a lot, okay? So thank you again. Remember, if you have any question, just leave it. Okay, so let's explain the first mechanic that we are going to implement. You know that in fight games, you usually push a lot the buttons and you do combos and things like that, okay? And that's great. That is like most of the fighting games works. But we want to, in this tutorial, we want to add something different, okay? We want to try some new mechanic. That this is the spirit of doing projects and see how it goes, okay? So for these boxing games, we are going to reward the player depending on if he's dogging or if he's like not attacking too much. We want the player to be precise. So every time that the player dodges an enemy attack, he gains, let's say, 1 punch or 1 point, okay? And then what he needs to do is gain 3 punches in order to make the combo that can get a KO to the enemy, okay? And every time the player attacks, 1 punch is left, so he can no longer attack when he doesn't have points or punches, okay? So this game is trying to just focus on the player to dodge and then to be very precise with the combo. Let's see this in the game so you can have a visual feeling of what I'm talking about. So look in the left number, you see every time I'm dogging, he's giving me the number is increasing, right? 4, 5, okay? And on the left down, you can see the combo. So if I do 2, 2, 1, the player is, the enemy is knocked down. And as you can see, I have a 3 here. But if I do, for example, da, 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 you see now I have 0. So this is the mechanic of the game that we are going to implement, okay? Don't mind that. I'm just focusing in the real game. I'm focusing in hurting the player, how it works. And it needs to be fixed for sure. So let's say this in code. We are in the player script, okay? And in the player script, we are going to create a signal. This signal will emit signal to change the amount of punches that we have. When any animation of the player starts and is related to attack, left jab, right jab, hook, or uppercut, we are going to discount. Okay, because as I told you, every time the player's attack is -1 punches, okay? So we discount. And we have a function that it will sum up or will discount the number of punches that we have, depending of the depending on the things that we are doing. In this case, we are discounting the attack, okay? This is why the function calls attack discount, okay? So we emit the signal and we put the string subtract 1 attack, okay? So, and then we are going to update the amount of punches that we have. Then this is sending to the fight script, okay? So to the manager script that is here. Then when we when the enemy is attacking, okay, and we are dogging successfully, what we are going to do is to add 1 attack, add 1 punch to the player in order to let him attack, okay? and the same if he's dogging to right or left. So it's like this. If we are punching, we get one, we have to discount 1 point. If we are dogging successfully, we gain 1 point to make the combo. And in the fight script, we are going to see this visually. So we are going to send all this information to one function that it will be just represent in text all the things that is happening in the game. Okay? So this is what we are going to code right now. Okay, so in the player script, let's create the signal. Signal change attack mount text. And now on the enemy is attacking, if the enemy action, remember if it's left jab and the player is left dogging, we are going to add 1 to the punches, number of punches of the player. So we are going to say a mix signal, change amount of text, and we are going to put, for example, add 1 to attack. Okay? And the same to if the player, for example, is dogging, right? So we are going to send the same signal. So just copy this signal and put it here. Okay, and now on the player spine animation start, that means every time an animation start, we are going to say, okay, if this animation is attacking, we are going to discount 1 attack. So first, we are going to see if track entry get animation dot get name is not equal to Throno idle. Okay, so what we are saying that is if we are not in idle mode, first we are going to create a variable animation name, and this will be a string, and this animation name will take the name of the animation. So we are going to put animation dot get name. Okay, so now we are going to use match. So match animation name, and for example, if it's equal to, we call it the first one, Throno left jab, Throno right jab. Okay, so if it's equal to Throno left jab, we are going to discount. So emit signal, change account, and we are going to put discount 1 attack. Okay? So the same with the other ones. For example, Throno right jab, and we're going to put the same signal. Okay, and the same to Throno right hook. Right hook. Again, we're going to use the same signal, discount 1 attack. For the left, again the same. So we just need to copy this and use it. Throno left hook. And again, we are going to emit the signal. And then what we need to implement is the uppercut. So if it's called Throno left uppercut, so again we emit the signal. Then we are going to later we are going to implement another signals, but at the moment we just need to put all the we can now that I'm thinking, of course we can create like um, if animation name is this one or this one or this one or this one, just emit that signal. It could be also okay, but because we want to change depending on the attack that is doing, also we need to do different information. We are going to get different information, so it's better to divide, okay, in this way. So let's copy the signal and it's done. Okay, so the match is done. I realized that it's better to use this signal later. We are going to use this signal, but later. Then we are going to create another signal that will be the one that it will be the change amount in the script, okay? So let me clarify. This signal will be sent to the fight scene, okay? But we want this signal to change the number of attacks internally in the script, okay? So when we have put this signal, we're going to change to amount instead of text, okay? And then the text will be the one that it will send to the fight script the number of attack that we have, okay? So just change the places that we have put it. Just change it. And I think it's done. Change amount. You don't need to change the string because it's the way that we want. Okay, this is okay. Okay, so now behind the spine animation start, we are going to create that function that will be called add or subtract one to attack. And I think the function is self-explanatory. And we're going to say we need to have an event that will be a string. Okay? And if event is equal to this count one attack, okay, if this is the event that we are sending the signal, the amount we need to create here a variable, let's create it, the amount of punches, right? So bar amount of punches will be a integer, okay? So amount of punches here, amount of punches is plus equal 1. Sorry, minus equal 1 because we are discounting. And we have another option if the event is equal to not discount one attack, we put where is the discount add 1 to attack. So if the event is add 1 to attack, so the amount of punches will be sum up. Okay, it's that simple. And now what we're going to do is to connect this signal. So here we are going to put self connect change attack amount to self and to the function that we have created. So every time add 1 or subtract this is we're written. Okay, so every time something happens, we are going to change the value of the amount of punches, +1, +2. Okay, and we are going to print. At the moment, we are going to print to see that if it's working or not. Okay, so we are going to print amount of punches to see if it's working or not before sending the signal, okay, to the fight scene. Let's see if it's working. So now let's attack, and you see we are minus because we are attacking, and then we are going to try to dodge and see what happened. So I'm dodging, and you see in the output that yes, we are gaining numbers. So if it is working, right now it's working, right now. Okay, so let's continue. So now we want to represent this all in the game. So first, let's go to the 2D and see the nodes that we have. Okay, we have the enemy state, but we need to duplicate this this node, and we are going to move it here. And this will be called amount of, let's put, of punches text. And this is the one that will tell us how many punches we have. Okay, so let's go to the fight scene, and here we are going first to call this node on ready bar. Let's put amount. Let's just copy this. Okay, amount of punches text, and it will be a rich text label, and this rich text label will be amount of punches text. Okay, and then let's create the function on text on amount of punches changed, and we will have the amount of punches variable that will be an integer, that it will be come from the other script, from the player script. So at the moment, let's pass just this, and now we are going to connect the node. So let's make it this bigger, and let's just behind this, let's put player node, connect, change attack amount of text with self, and let's copy the name of this function. Okay, so everything seems to be ready. Let's move to emit the signal in the player's script, and here, instead of printing, what we are going to see to do is to emit the signal. So emit signal, change amount of text, and we are going to carry the amount of punches. Okay, so when we are sending this signal, we are also sending with us the amount of punches that we have. Okay, now if we go to the fight scene and we put the on amount of punches change. Okay, so now we need to do the same than here, but we are going to not put obviously enemy state text, just changes to the rich text label that we want, and then here we are going to put the amount of punches. Okay, if I'm not wrong, I think that because an integer, maybe we need to put parentheses. I forget that. Need to see one moment. I think maybe it's working. I need to see the VB code how it works. Let's just look this for a minute. Yeah, I just need to say that this is a string. Okay, so let's see if it's working. So let's attack. What is happening? As you can see, it's working. And if, for example, okay, and okay, something is weird. I don't know what it is, but for example, if I don't move the mouse, and this is like getting. Let's watch this later. Okay, so I just found the bug, and it's the function mouse back to center. You remember that we add this because we want the every time we attack, we want the mouse to move to that position, okay? But what happened? When this position moves, it's like it's detecting mouse movement. So we need to fix that. For example, we can put here if it's mouse back to center, and maybe we can create a boolean or something, or is not and there is not input if a mouse motion, something like this. Then do that function. Okay, so we can do something like this, but at the moment, because it's not that important, what we are going to do is to disconnect the function. You only need to hit Control K, okay, and we are going to make it like it's a text, and the problem is fixed.